Oh yeah. Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy Michael Datcher. This show airs each weekday morning at 4:45 a.m. and goes until 5 a.m. and then 4:45 p.m. and goes until 5 p.m. The show is aimed and directed at entrepreneurs, those who have their own business. Hey, Janie Willie is here. Those who would like to own their own business and those who simply want to live like a boss. If you find yourself within one of those designations, you are in the right place. Um, we're also dedicated, as you can tell by our title, to the idea that joy can be used, leveraged as a technology to move us towards our goals and objectives. As we know from 10th grade science, there is a sign. Hey, Ricky Pryor is in the building. There is a scientific imperative behind joy. When the body's feeling joyful, what's happening at a biochemical level is that the body is flooding itself with endorphins, and those endorphins can give us a sense of euphoria. And we can then leverage that euphoric feeling to move us towards our goals and objectives. All right. We encourage people on this show to really think about starting their own business. You can always keep your day job, at least in the early going, but you want to have the possibility of having unlimited income, but also being the boss, meaning being able to employ other people and also being able to really be a leader in galvanizing people economically, galvanizing communities economically, because too often those who have the money lack the vision, and those who have the vision lack the money. We're all about trying to combine those two ideas so that those who are visionary, who want to really bring something good to the planet, want to bring something good to their communities, want to bring something good to their families, can then therefore be resourced well enough to make that happen, as opposed to having to go outside of their own means. All right. So a bit about myself. This is Michael Datcher. I am the author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. That book's film rights, I should say, were also optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people, and I eventually agreed to write that project. That particular book also was featured on Oprah and also many of the international media outlets like the BBC, etc. I am also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson, where Michael Brown was murdered, and the conflagration that ensued happened there as well. That book's about, hey, Tarika. That book also, that book, what am I saying? Americas, yes. That book is about identical twin sons, and one of the sons gets vitiligo, the so-called Michael Jackson disease. It really interrogates the intersection of race and violence in America. Very powerful book. I'm also the founding editor of the International Journal of Literary Nonfiction, which is based here in America, but which has a global readership. You can go, if you write in the nonfiction arena, you can go to thetruthaboutthefact.org. That organization also puts on really free public salons in which we combine art and scholars and experts and activists who come and discuss the most pressing issues of the day. And those salons are always in art galleries or art venues. Very powerful. I'm also the former executive director of the World Stage, a literary and jazz venue here in California. If you create 7 days of programming, really cheap in terms of the pricing, very inexpensive workshops and performances for children and adults. If you have kids especially, it's a powerful organization. Go to theworldstage.org if you are in California especially, or if you're visiting. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate. My master's is from UCLA, and my PhD is from the University of California at Riverside in English literature. I am currently a professor of English at Loyola Marymount University here in California. I'm an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity given how difficult and crazy my early beginnings are and were. I am the product, and really quite a horrible story, of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to a single divorcee who was a great woman. But nonetheless, there was no biological or adopted father at the time. And so those are tough beginnings. Yet, as Kool Moe Dee famously said, how you like me now. All right, if I can be this productive through joy, so can you, so can anyone, and we can do it collectively if we are so inclined. All right, so we're talking today about the connection between motivation, which is so important as an entrepreneur, because the road can get rough, between motivation and productivity. Just in a few seconds. Let me encourage you to go to michaeldatcher.com and productivethroughjoy.com and learn about our one-on-one productive through joy trainings that we offer. You can in fact go to those websites now. Again, michaeldatcher.com or productivethroughjoy.com and get information about a free consultation. We really vet each person who would like to take the training, just to make sure that we're not just taking your money and that we aren't wasting our time, because this actually does take work and effort to be involved in these trainings. And, we want to just be upfront. This isn't for everyone. We know it's not. This is only for people, frankly, who are who are motivated to do the work. We don't want to waste your time or waste our time, and we just want to make sure that you're actually ready, because this is very powerful, life-changing work, and it can change your life. There's no two ways about it. It's changed my life. So in the morning, we talk about the import of really framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. As we know, at times we wake up on the wrong side of the bed. So I had a big meeting yesterday. It was just really challenging. And I was just like, it put me in bed early. I was like, whoo, that was a lot. And so just tough. And so, of course, I woke up this morning with that on my mind, but I dived right into what I call my spiritual practice, and I'm feeling better already. So, which is what I'm getting to now. We really encourage people to think about what can you do every day in a ritualized way, meaning ritual can be defined simply as doing the same thing at around the same time. So what can you do in a ritualized way to prepare for your day that you know is to come, for good or for bad? So let me just give you my brief ritual in the morning. I wake up in the mornings at 4 a.m., including this morning. I do our show at 4:45. At 5, I go to the beach. I live right here in Venice Beach, California. I walk, bring my drum, and I do yoga. I drum, I meditate and pray. I come back to the crib. I work on my current book for a few hours, and I go back to the beach, run up the coast and all the way back, and then eventually run to my gym, go to the gym here. And so to hit the weights, pardon me. So by 8 o'clock, I'm feeling very, very powerful, right? My body is being flooded with endorphins. As we know from 10th grade science, again, the body, when the body is feeling joyful, what's happening at a biochemical level is that the body is flooding itself with endorphins. And those endorphins give us a sense of euphoria. Those endorphins never run the hell out. We have a renewable source of energy right inside of our bodies. It would be foolish not to take advantage of that. So this show is really also propelled by that idea. Let's do what we can do to get ourselves in a position for success, a position for abundance. So this morning, from the morning reading, I'm reading 2 great books now. I'm reading 2 great books as a part of my morning reading right now. I'm reading the book Think and Grow Rich, and I'm reading the book of Proverbs in the Bible. And from those 2 readings, I essentially extract some wisdom, which I call the morning chant, an idea that I place on my phone, I contemplate throughout my day. This morning's morning chant, drawn from those 2 books, is: through spiritual practice, love, justice, family, and community motivate me to be excellent. Again, through spiritual practice, love, justice, family, and community motivate me to be excellent. And so, again, I place it on my phone, but I also create the morning show right now and the afternoon show based upon the morning reading. And so literally every show is inspired by some higher level of inspiration. I try to keep the show really rooted in spirit, which is kind of a source of energy for me. All right, so let's dive in. So we're talking today, you guys, about motivation. Wow, this is critical. Motivation and productivity. Let's start. Point 1 is you have to find your motivation. If you've done any theater, as I have, and if you're around the theater world or acting, maybe even Hollywood, you oftentimes hear directors tell actors, all right, find your motivation, or what's your motivation, which is a way to say to the actor, what's driving your emotion in this scene, in this part of the movie or part of the play. In the exact same way as an entrepreneur, you have to find your motivation. You have to determine what is going to motivate me. For some people like me, because I'm really into family, my family and taking care of my family and being on my family and, motivates me amazingly, right? I want to be great so my daughters can see me be great so I can show them how it's done, not by simply saying, go be great, daughters. I want to let them know how it's done. If you have kids, as we've said before, you know that kids, small kids in particular, learn primarily by what they see in their environment. You can talk to a kid, as I do all day long, kid, do this. But a kid, for the most part, will do what they see. So that may be your motivation. It may be love. I know for many men, I've seen men do this many times. When men fall in love, whoa, it's, the guys who I've known, I've seen love just change a dude, and also, and that's both straight men and gay men, right? Just, they fall in love and whoa, they just buck up, right? So my point is, whatever you need to do as an entrepreneur, you need to find the motivation and link to it and dive into it and take advantage of it, because you're going to face so many obstacles. Not if, but when obstacles come, you have to find a way to push through those difficult points. All right. For me, I'm also really involved and really believe in community. I'm a black man, so I really believe in the black community in particular. That's a major passion of mine. I want to see us do better, because our kids are getting shot up in the streets by other people and by each other. We got a lot of things going on right now in the black community. So that really motivates me to want to be excellent, to be well-resourced so we can fund our own activity, just for example. Point two is that, point three then. So once you find the motivation and once you allow the motivation to drive you, to propel you, to move you, to compel you to do what needs to be done, pardon me, even when it's very difficult. Point three is that you have to be able to help other people on your team be motivated. Help them find their motivation or inspire them by your example. In business, guys, in my experience as an entrepreneur, you have to have a team. It's almost impossible to really be well-resourced by yourself. You have to have people who can execute your vision. Early on, when you first started, you may have to do everything yourself, almost everything, right? That's pretty typical for entrepreneurs. Unless you're coming from a very rich family, you can, like Donald Trump, can borrow $1 million from his dad. He can be like, Dad, I want to begin my own business. I need $1 million. Oh, here you go, son. I got a little chump change. If you can do that, God bless you. That's great, because the parents should give their kids money to start a business. I believe in that. But that's not most of us. We can't go to Pops and be like, Pops, you got a meal I can borrow until Tuesday. That ain't gonna happen for most of us. And so we have to find a way to do it ourselves. And we have to do it ourselves, meaning we have to organize our team that we may have the wherewithal as a group to go get what needs to be gotten. All right, that's really critical. And you can do that by motivating, by inspiring people to join your team, but also by motivating and inspiring people to do great and to be excellent once they join your team. Because if they can execute your vision, if they have your attitude of hard work, excellence, and stick-to-itiveness, your business, that attitude becomes the business culture, and you begin to do what needs to be done. So with that, we'll end the show. Thank you so much for listening. Great seeing you all here. Definitely holler at me at michaeldatcher.com or productivethroughjoy.com. Get your free consultation, guys. You got to reach out. If you're serious about it, at least find out what we do. Holler at me. Again, this isn't for everyone. We try to keep it super real with people. This is not for everybody. But if you are determined to go get your money, this may be a source of help. All right. But also, and we, as you've heard before, we aren't just about making money. Clearly, we are about community. We're about love. But we know that it takes money in this world to get things done. So we're also very pragmatic. Although we're not materialist, we do live in the material world. All right, so we got to deal with that. And so thanks for listening. You can also follow me at michaeldatcher.com. You can holler at me, no doubt, on Twitter at Michael Datcher, on Facebook at Michael Datcher, of course on Instagram at Michael Datcher. For sure, go to michaeldatcher.com and productivethroughjoy.com. Please share this video if you've enjoyed this information, or invite people as we close the show now so they can see it themselves and get the link. Listen, let's do this together. Let's talk about it, as we say, and be about it. Deuces.